The trailer for Money Heist Season 5 Part 2 is out, and it has gone viral as expected. The first part of Season 5 was full of thrills, but going by the trailer of Part 2, it seems like the professor and his dolly masked team are in for their darkest hour yet. Can't wait to know more? Let's check out Money Heist. Season 5 Part 2 trailer is going to change everything.
Profesor, no se me venga abajo.
Number 8, let's rewind. This series from Spain has been one of the most polarizing shows of the past decade, surpassing the language barrier and entertaining millions of non-Spanish audiences from around the world. In fact, Season 4 ensured Money Heist became the most watched non-English title ever, with over 65 million households tuning in to watch the heist in its first month of release. Money Heist 5 begins right from where it left off. It begins with a pregnant Sierra finding the professor and knocking him out, then tying him up and interrogating him. After Lisbon enters the bank, the gang prepares for an attack by troops of the Spanish army. The gang captures Gandia, then frees him rather than killing him. Gandia wants to exact revenge on the gang, so Tamayo has him join the assault by the soldiers. After finding out the professor has been caught, but that Sierra has not notified the police, Lisbon tells the gang they will not give up. Benjamin and Marseille find the professor and Sierra knocks them out and ties them up. When Sierra struggles to deliver her baby, she frees the professor, Marseille, and Benjamin so they can all help. Sierra then gives birth to a daughter whom she names Victoria. Arturo Roman, a hostage in both the Royal Mint and the Bank of Spain, had an affair with Stockholm before the first heist, and Arturo's reminders angered Denver. When Arturo, the governor of the bank, and other hostages start a rebellion, Stockholm shoots Arturo, who is then released so he can receive medical care. In a flashback, Berlin convinces his son Raphael to help him steal 12 kilograms of gold with Tatiana, Pagoda, and Marseille. In the present, the gang starts fighting with soldiers, with Helsinki sustaining a severe injury. Stockholm feels guilt over shooting Arturo, who is her son's birth father, and takes morphine while nursing Helsinki, which leaves her unable to aid in the gang's defense against the attacking soldiers. Eventually, the Volume 1 concludes with Tokyo sacrificing herself to defeat Gandia and the soldiers.
You see the disappointed faces of the people you failed. It's as if a javelin was hurled through your chest.
Number 7. Trailer 2 sets up the end of the world's greatest heist. Netflix recently unveiled the full-length official trailer for the final batch of the final 5 episodes of Money Heist. The new trailer has the professor being haunted by his actions and their fallout, while his heist team and the special forces prepare for an all-out war inside the Royal Mint of Spain. Netflix has dubbed this trailer as the end of the world's greatest heist. The trailer starts with the professor arriving in a red beetle, feeling like he's surrounded by the ghosts of Christmas past. He's greeted instead by Spanish soldiers. A crying Rio is painfully living through Tokyo's death before he's comforted by Lisbon. Elsewhere, the cop Alicia Sierra rubs in at what the professor is experiencing. You see the disappointed faces of the people you failed. It's as if a javelin was hurled through your chest. The chief of the soldiers is heard saying, "We came in here to complete a mission, put an end to this heist, and that's what we're gonna do." The soldiers prepare to barge in as Palermo says elsewhere, "I really doubt we're going to get out of here." In reply, Helsinki tells Palermo, "You'll get me out of here. You promised and you'll do it." The rest of the trailer is made up of action sequences, and the climax signals an ominous end for the red-suited thieves. So how will it actually go down? Well, you'll have to wait and watch the series on Netflix to find out.
Acababa aquí. Este era el final de nuestro camino juntos.
Number 6. Who's the narrator now? Money Heist is on its way to the finale. The first part ended with Tokyo's death and everyone fell apart. And since the whole series was narrated by Tokyo till that point, fans were curious to find out who would narrate the story past Tokyo's death. There was a theory doing the rounds on the internet that maybe Tokyo would narrate from her grave. It wasn't hard to believe, as we've seen Berlin narrate for some part of the last season, although he had died way earlier. But the new trailer has put all these claims to rest by revealing the new narrator. Replacing Tokyo as the narrator is our very own Lisbon, aka Raquel Murillo. She is heard saying, "You see the disappointed faces of people you failed." Now that is a twist already.
Lo siento mucho, Rio. Lo siento, Palermo.
Number 5. What happens to the professor? Just like the crew of the heist, Alicia is now one of the most wanted women in all of Spain, Europe, and arguably the world. After confronting the professor and knocking out Marseille and Benjamin, the heavily pregnant Alicia gave birth. The last that we saw of Alicia was when she took a pair of pliers from the bathroom and hid them inside of her sleeve. This means that Alicia isn't fully on the side of the professor yet, and there's still a great chance she could be the catalyst to the heist downfall, or at the very least the professor's end. So will Alicia hand the professor over to the police? Number 4. Is Raphael going to be the professor's trump card? One of the subplots to Season 5 of Money Heist has been the introduction of Raphael, the cybersecurity whiz son of Berlin. Despite his reluctance and displeasure, Raphael eventually learned to enjoy the rush of stealing and looked to join the family business. However, those events took place before the heist of the Spanish Mint, and Raphael is yet to be seen or included by the professor in a heist. Raphael may in fact be in exile from the family. This is because we are presuming that Raphael and Tatiana ran away together, leaving a heartbroken but probably impressed Berlin behind. Raphael is currently the wild card, and with his help, the crew and the professor may find a way to escape after all.
Porque te faltan 2 dedos de frente para llegar hasta donde llegué yo.
Number 3. Will the underrated villain meet a fitting end? While the final season is about to release, one thing is common. The Spanish show, which has an enormous fan following across the world, also has something else in common: their mutual hatred for the same character who started appearing from the first season of the show. At the end of Season 4, it was obvious what brought the fan base together. They wanted Arturo to die as soon as possible. The point that brought everyone watching the show together wasn't Nairobi's death, but how much of an awful person Arturito was. Arturo Roman, or Arturito, played by Enrique Arce, who has been omnipresent since the first season, has been an awful character throughout. And we don't mean awful in terms of a villain, we mean a downright mean, shoddy character who absolutely everyone dislikes. Will he finally meet a fitting end in the last 5 episodes?
Es que cada segundo puede ser el último.
Number 2. Is Tokyo alive? There have been many twists and turns throughout Money Heist, but unfortunately no one can take 4 grenades to the chest and survive. Tokyo's sacrifice had given the crew more time as she was able to kill Gandia, Sagasta, and the majority of the Special Force personnel. However, some fan theories suggest that we may see the return of Tokyo in the final season. At the absolute minimum, we expect to see her character appear in a flashback or 2, but nothing more.
Mira, lo vamos a sacar y te voy a decir por qué.
Number 1. Would there be a Season 6? All good things must come to an end, but that doesn't stop fans from being disappointed that one of their favorite shows is almost over. Alex Pina, the creator of Money Heist, has addressed the end of the series in a number of interviews, largely crediting moving on to new projects such as Sky Rojo. Another large reason why the series is coming to an end is due to the demand of the cast. As Money Heist features an incredible ensemble, each passing season has only raised the popularity of the cast more and more. It's extremely difficult to continue producing shows with a star-studded cast when they are in such high demand. But there is some good news. With Money Heist soon coming to an end, there will be a final batch of episodes dropping in December of this year, and you may be wondering what's next. An international spin-off is already confirmed, with more rumored to be on the way. The only project that has been confirmed post-Money Heist 5th season so far in the form of a Korean drama adaptation. The series will almost be an exact remake, given all that the characters from the Spanish version of the show will be translated over to this. Isn't that exciting? So what do you think? Will the professor manage to come out on top one last time in this epic series? How excited are you for the finale? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed watching the video as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. See you next time. Goodbye.